Hi, hello everybody. This is Neena Bidikar here. I'm a numerologist, and today we are going to talk about numbers. Numbers, which in the universe, if you see, has been decoded. We're all decoded only by numbers. So I would like to tell you on this topic a few basic things which you will see in your everyday life. I am on this channel of Vigyavastu and Astrology. Please do subscribe and like if you feel the videos that we are doing is up to you, what you understand and you like. So we can do further and go more deeper into this topic. Hi, Shikha.
Hi Neena, welcome to our channel after a long break.
Yeah, it's been too long.
Correct. I would like you to adjust your mic a little bit because still there is a volume issue.
You can't hear me?
Now it's okay. Yeah, a little better.
Okay.
So this is the series of Guru Purnima, and Neena ji is into numerology. Many swear that there is no better numerologist than her, and of course we also know that. She's also done numerology courses with us. Neena, welcome, and yours is a different topic than astrology that I have been doing, and this will be something different.
Yes, thank you so much, Shikha. It's been really long, but this time I will start from the introduction because I think there's been too long a gap.
Correct.
When we did it in 2020.
Yes.
And at that time, I think what I spoke then was too advanced for a lot of them because they did not really understand what I was saying.
Right.
So since this is a series, I thought maybe if we introduce numerology, then most of them would understand where we are coming from and what we are saying. If you go to see like that, astrology and numerology are very connected.
Yes.
Numerology also has planets into it, though we are not talking about it today, but they definitely are very, very connected. And I would like to tell my viewers that numerology is so decoded in this universe that everything is numbers. When you will actually start looking at it and you will start seeing numbers, will you realize that yes, we are all born with these numbers. So that is why I'm going to do very basic today so that everybody gets the feel and understands what numbers are. All right.
Correct.
Now, when we are talking about numbers, I would like to tell that there are many streams of numerology. There is Kabbalah, there is Chinese, there is Greek, there is Roman. There are so many, but what today I am talking is the Pythagorean method that I have learned from my teacher, and I thank her a lot. I have learned from Poonam. So this is a method that is called as modern numerology, but it is not so modern because this was developed by a mathematician named Pythagoras, who was a Greek mathematician, but he developed this in the 6th century, somewhere between 520 to 570 BCE. He was a mathematician who understood what this is. He was also a musician. So he connected the two. And he based this on the vibrations. Basically, we are all energies as we all know it. And these numbers, if you look into the universe, they vibrate to certain things. Like there's a lot of energies in the space or in the galaxy or the universe, whatever you want to name it. When these energies start moving, they form waves. When the waves clash, they form sound. Okay. Now, when these sounds start vibrating and they clash with each other, energy is formed. So it goes in that circle of sound, and electricity. That is how these energies are formed. I'm sure you know, even in astrology, it is the same.
Yes, of course, the 5 elements that are formed is all about these vibrations.
Correct. So all these numbers are vibrations. Basically, we all vibrate on these numbers. So if you see any coding, even the computer coding, that is, it's always on 010101. You know, so everything is vibration. So these numbers, music, everything is on these basically on these vibrations. And because we are energies, we vibrate on numbers and sound. So if you look at the Pythagorean method, it's basically about numbers that we are born in and the name, which is the sound. So both are used for numerology. So we basically need only these two things. We need the birth date, the day, the month, and the year that you are born in, and the name that is given to you by your parents, grandparents, whoever. We call it, the universe gives you whatever name is required for you. Now, how do these numbers really help? Okay. The numbers that you are born in speaks a lot about your journey in life. What you have come for, your purpose, and what you are going to do through your life. It is a journey that you are going to walk through in this life. So each number that you are born with is very specific. Each one of us is very unique because these numbers are very unique. Now you might say that so many millions are born on the same day, at the same time, in the same hospital also probably. So then how come each one of us is very different? Okay. If you look at these numbers, the numbers will be the same, but the place you are born in, the time that you are born in will also matter. But that is very advanced, which I am not going to talk about. I am only going to talk about the base of the numbers. Okay. Then each one of us is given a name. Before we leave the hospital, the name is registered. So your name becomes very unique. There may be many siblings in the family. So your name becomes very different from your family name. So even that matters. There are so many times twins are born at the same time in the same hospital, to the same mother. Yes. Then how does it matter? No, it should be the same, but they're like chalk and cheese. If you look at twins, you will find them as chalk and cheese. By the name, you will see the difference between the two siblings. That is how precise numbers talk. So this is what we are going to talk about. Very basic, very broad. Now I will go with what we are born with. We are born on a particular day. Supposing you are born on the 7th of any month. Okay. The day that you are born, the number of the day that you are born is basically the vibration that you are bringing in from your last birth. Most of us in India especially believe in rebirth, but I believe most of them don't believe that we are reborn or we have lives after death. But there definitely is there, because there is a connection which, when we go a little advanced, I will be talking about, not in here, but you have to understand that the day that we are born basically tells us about the vibration that we are born in, which we bring in from our past lives. That is why there are certain qualities in us which is very innate. We just have it, we just know it, we just walk that through. Like if you will see a toddler, when a toddler is born, he doesn't know anything about the world. But there will be some kids who are very joyful. There will be some kids who are very cranky. I'm talking about healthy kids. If they have some other kind of disability, maybe it's a different thing. But if you look at any normal healthy child, you will see that they will behave very differently. So how does that come? They come with that vibration of the past lives, and that is why they behave in a manner that they behave. Then we have the month that we are born. Now this is not a very talked about subject, the month that we are born in. But basically the month that we are born in tells us about the actions that we are going to do in this life. This lifetime, what we call life on this planet is the journey that we go through. And we come to do certain actions, or we come with the purpose in life. So the month tells us what we are going to do. Basically, in numerology, we only calculate from 1 to 9. Okay, any compound numbers after 9 are brought down to a single digit. Then we only look at it from the view of that single digit, from 1 to 9. So the meanings are going to be only from 1 to 9. So here the question will be, so what does 10, 11 and 12 mean? Okay, that also is a little more advanced. So we'll not be talking about that. I will just take it. Okay. Then we have the year. The year denotes the path that we will be taking in this lifetime to reach our destination. So when we calculate our birth of date, the month and the year, we calculate that entire thing. We call it a life path, because that is the path that we are going to take. If you see YouTube channel, there are many people giving it different names. Some people call it destiny, some people call it so many other names. But I call it a life path, as I have been taught. We call it a life path because that is the journey that we go through from zero to the time that we live. So the entire journey is our life, that we go on the path and we reach our life path, or we do our purpose in this life for what we have come. So when we calculate that entire thing, we call it a life path. Now, what is our name? When we are saying that sound is so important, especially in astrology, I think you pay more importance to sound.
Correct.
Sound, the name that we are given, each letter of the alphabet is numbered, or it has a value. This value of the name that we have, when we add and we say, reduce it to a single digit, that value tells us what is the talent that we have, or how do we express ourselves. So it becomes a very important thing that in your journey of your life, how you're going to express, what are the talents that you are going to showcase, tells us by our name. So it is a very important aspect in numerology. So these two are the basic ones. There are tons of calculations where we do in numerology, but these two are the basic ones which tell you almost 50% of what you are. So once you know these two, I think you can just about get an understanding of what. So I hope my viewers are excited to know more.
Right.
So we will start with the life path. Which number did I give?
You can just take any number.
We will take today 19. Okay, 19, when we add 1 plus 9, which comes to a 1, because it's a 10. Okay, so then we are in the month of July, so it is a 7. So you add 1 plus 7, which comes to an 8.
8.
Then we add 2022, which comes 2 plus 2 plus 2, which is a 6.
Correct.
So when you add a 8 plus a 6, that will come to a 14. So you add 1 plus 4, which comes to a 5. So we today are vibrating on number 5. Okay. So now this means something. What are you operating on? Okay. So what does number 5 vibration mean? I will start with the 5 and then I will go back to a 1. So you understand that. 5 is a very interesting number. And I'm glad we are doing this video on this number, because 5 is supposed to be known as a balance of all. It is in the midst of 1 to 9, the middle number of 1 to 9. So it is known as balance. Number 5 also talks about freedom. They need a lot of freedom. Very versatile number, because it is a balanced number. It can swing from this side to the other side. People who have a 5 in their life path, they are very blessed people, because they are able to move on quickly. They are very versatile. They can do a lot of things, whether it is creativity, whether it is media, whether it is public speaking, whether it is wanting to do any kind of creativity. It is very, very versatile. So this number attracts a lot of good things in life, because it reflects goodness in itself. And because it is from 1 to 5, it is very, very versatile. So I will go back to the first number, number 1. We will start from the beginning. Now, each number that we are vibrating on, it has a positive, it has a negative, and it has a destructive features in them. Each number will have that. Now, why is this? When any number in your core has, when I call a core, it is your birth date, your entire birth date, which is from your month to the birth of date to your year.
Right.
Okay.
What we did just now.
Yes. Like supposing you are born on 2nd of February. Then you have 2 2s. So it becomes like a pair, which is, but supposing you are born on a 2nd February 2022. So you have only 2s in your chart. Then it becomes over, means too much of 2s. Then it becomes
correct. Correct.
When does it become negative? When you have 4 2s, it becomes negative. If you have more than 4 2s, then it becomes destructive. This goes for any number. 2 I have just taken as an example, but this goes for any numbers. Okay, so that is why the constructive, the negative, and the destructive. To understand the exact of how you work this out, because I have already said that there are tons of calculations in numerology. It is not just one basic calculation. There are a lot of calculations that we do to understand the nuances of each event in our life, or each circumstance that we go through in our lives. Okay, because here we are talking about just the beginning or the basic. I am not going there. I'm just explaining what it means. Okay. Now, when we take number 1, number 1 people, if like supposing you're born on the day, like if you're born on the 1st or the 10th or the 19th of any month, it comes to number 1, or the 28th also comes to a number 1. So we call it number 1 people. If your life path is number 1, like when you calculate your entire date, and if it reduces to number 1, then those are the lessons that you are going to walk through in this life. But if you're born with number 1, that is what you're coming from. That is how your personality will be. Okay. Life path is where you will become that number 1, going through the journey of your life. That is the difference between being born and the life path. So number 1 people who are born on 1, 10, 19, and 28, they're very individualistic people. They like to be the leader. They want to show their originality. They can never be a second to anybody. They always like to be the leader of their herd, their community, wherever they are placed, in their job work. Even if they are at home, if they are housewife, they still want to show their individuality. That is about number one. If they become negative number ones, like there are too many ones in a person, then that person becomes very dependent instead of being very independent. The number one people always like to show their independence, but if they have too many ones, they become very dependent on others. And if they have much more number ones, they are the type who will bully people, because they want what they say, their way or highway. They start bullying people. They show their tantrums. They just want their way. That is how destructive they can be in their everyday lives. Okay, that is how a number one works. Now, if we talk about the number two people, these people are very sensitive, very adaptable, very receptive to everything. A number one person will start a work and he will never complete it, because they are so hyper on everything that they just want to lead, So they are not the type who will complete any work. People will always complete whatever they take. So the combination of number one and number two here works very well. The number one starts, the number two completes. It's almost like the secretary who will do everything, finish the job, They're very good at that. But if there are more number twos, like you are born on the 22nd of February, let's say, then you will vacillate from doing this to that. You're not very sure of what you are doing. Whether I'm doing it right, or should I be doing this, or should I be doing that? Too many doubts, no, I think I will do this. 5 minutes later, they'll say, no, I will do this. But if they have more number twos, then they can be kind of nitpicky on everything. Like supposing there is a boss who has a lot of twos in his number. I'm just giving examples so people understand when I mean nitpicky. Then they will go about with their assistants. Have you done this? Show me. Did you do that? Show me. They will keep picking up every little thing that the assistant is doing. That is how nitpicky they can get, which kind of becomes a discord with the others. Okay, that is the destructive part of number two. But number two people are fantastic because their intuition power is huge. They have fantastic, my cat from behind is.
Yeah, I know.
So my attention is going. Sorry about that. But he's too curious as to what I am doing. So, number two people like that. When I do planets, you will understand where I'm coming from for the two. It's very interesting. Number three are very joyful people. They always find joy and cheer in everything. Even in the worst situation, they will find something very positive. Very positive people to have around if you have a number three. They can, at a flick of a finger, they can change even the saddest thing into a very joyous thing. That is how the three is. They're very expressive. When they have too many number twos, they can be very talkative because they love to talk. They love people around them. I have seen this especially when a lot of people who have number three, like say they're born on the 3rd of March, or there are many threes in their number. Especially a pair of threes are very talkative people. Okay, so they can be all alone to themselves, but they'll keep talking to themselves. They are like that. So sometimes that also can be termed as gossip when it becomes destructive. If they don't find a right channel to talk, probably then they can be called as gossip mongers also. So it basically goes into the destructive part. The negative part of number three is they're very scattered. their energies are not channeled in one direction. They have very high energy, very hyper people. So if that is not channelized, then they can get very scattered doing many things at one time and not completing. And the destructive part is they probably would get very jealous if the other is doing well, or they sometimes could be very hypocritical about their joy. It may not be actually that joyous at some point in time. So when I'm saying all this, I hope people are taking it in the right sphere, because only when you go advanced in this, you will know how to.
Yes. Most of them, my followers are into astrology, so they will connect very well with whatever you are saying.
Okay.
They know what is exaltation, levitation. Everything gets connected,
Yeah, astrology and numerology is very connected.
Correct.
But I basically am saying this is because when we had done 2 years ago, I realized that people have not understood what I was saying.
Yeah, because they were completely new to these occult sciences. They didn't even know the basics of anything. So for them to correlate with planets and everything, and like number 3, okay, this planet ke baare mein socho sab kuch pata chala.
I know.
That is the way we connect. But your people, whoever did numerology, they were basically only very, very new to our field. Most of them.
Yeah, so when you understand what one number is, and then you start looking at it, for anybody, why I'm saying numbers are very important in our life is, you take anything as numbers, whether you are going to get a kilo of any food item that you get is numbers, what you pay is in numbers, what you earn is in numbers.
Numbers, yes, the whole life revolves.
Yeah, your life is about numbers. It's just that we are taking it so much for granted that we don't pay attention to those numbers. Right? Every day we are looking at dates every day. We are looking at the year every day. We are looking at the month. So we are doing everything with numbers, but we are not actually paying attention to those numbers. So when you now start understanding numbers and start looking at it, I think even when we were kids, we'll be traveling in a car, we will see a car moving forward to us, we'll see the numbers, we'll start calculating the numbers just by itself. Nobody tells us to do it.
Right.
But there is something about it. Why are you calculating those numbers?
We would be very happy if we see a pair of numbers on the car number or a bike number. We would be, see, double, it's, 3. Yeah. I remember that.
All of us do that. So it's very innate in us. Why is it innate in us? Because we know that the numbers are ingrained in us, We are numbers, we are those vibrations. That is why we relate to it so well. It is just somewhere along the life we have just forgotten about it. Or we take it for granted. So when people will now start relating to this, I think they will understand where we are coming from and why we do it. Okay, so now we go to number 4. Number 4 is a very practical number. A number which is very organized, very practical. They will do, like supposing somebody is born on the 4th or the 13th, especially a 13th number, they will be so organized, wherever they pick up anything from, it has to go back there. Even if it is dead 2 in the night, they still have to put it there before they go to sleep. They will be like that. Okay. So a number 22 may not be like that because there are 2 2s in it. But a 31 will be like that, very organized. If they are secretaries, you will see the files absolutely immaculate. Number 4s are like that. They need everything orderly. Everything has to be done very methodically. Everything has to be done by the method. They cannot go like I will tell you when I come next. 4 has to do it in that method only. Only then they can work. They cannot work otherwise. They are not haphazard people. But if they are a destructive 4, then they are very lazy. They will never do anything in a proper manner. That is how it will be. It will be just the opposite of what that vibration is. Like if you have too many 4s in your chart. Then we come to a number 5. Number 5 will be, they will go with the flow. Nothing will be my method. It will only be what they feel at that point of time, they will do that. That is why freedom. Everything has to be expansive. Everything has to move. Everything has to have a movement. If you look at the way 5 is written and if you look at the way 4 is written, 4 is very static. But as 5, it will start somewhere and end somewhere. There is a movement in 5. Okay. So each number that is been developed or the way we write each number has a meaning. Like if you see a 1, it will be just a 1 line. Okay, so it's all about me. When you see a 2, it has a slight curve to that 1 and it is moving on the ground level or a line.
Yeah.
Shows the adaptability of that 1. Okay, now when you add 1 and 2 comes to a 3, which is the creation of the 1 and 2. So there is a circle. The creation has just started.
Okay.
Now when we see a 4, you will see a triangle but with 2 strokes, side and down. And there are like 3 lines which go, which makes it a 4. So all these that they have developed in forming the way you write those things also has a reason. But I did not want to talk about this because I felt that it would become too much.
We will do it someday.
Yeah, I felt it would become too heavy for people if they are new to this channel.
Correct.
New to numerology.
Right.
Now we go to number 6. This is the number of the universe. Why do I say that? It is a very harmonious number and a number of balance also. If you take any compass and you draw a circle with the same radius at any point in the circle, if you place it and draw another circle and you keep drawing circles, you will find 6 petals. Okay. This is the geometry of that circle.
Correct.
The whole universe is based on this geometry. Okay. So that is why it is called the flower of the universe. It is the same radius by which the entire circle is drawn. Flower of the universe.
Okay, flower of the universe.
Yeah, because if you see the radius of that particular...
Yeah, correct. We used to do in the childhood, now that 6 petals always. Yeah. And it was the easiest to do.
Yes.
Very well balanced and everything.
Yes. So if you look, when we go into sacred geometry, I will talk a little about sacred geometry later on. Correct. But if you look at the sacred geometry, then it is all based on that. On how you form that circle and why is it so important in your life. And how do you look at it in that? If you go to any form of the life in universe, you will find this as the base. That is why 6 is a number of harmony. 6 is a number of nurturing. 6 is a number of giving. That is why 6 is very important in a life. If the mother never nurtured the child, there would be no harmony in life. So 6 is all about motherhood, about nurturing, about looking after people. So you will find a lot of people who are born on the 6th or the 12th or the 6, 12 and one more number should be 24. 24. If you see anybody is born in these numbers, they're very nurturing. If you go to their houses, they'll like kind of fill you with food, you know. They will be that nurturing. They basically, that is very innate in them. They come with that kind of... But these people, when they go in the negative, if you have too many 6s, they have a lot of anxiety pangs. For everything, they have anxiety. If there is nothing else, they will look at the sky and say, oh, what if the sky falls? They have that kind of... Too many 6s give them that anxiety. So if you find a mother who is like, say, born on the 6th of June, she'll always be telling the children, don't do this, this will happen. those kind of anxiety pangs they will have. They will
Correct.
protect their child too much. And if they have much more than that, then they will be very malicious in their nature. They like to, either they're very suppressed or they'll not be of a very good nature. That harmony is gone, that balance is gone. When there are too many sixes, that is how destructive six can be. But again, that is a little advanced to understand.
Correct.
Coming back, now we are in the 6th year, 222. So it comes to a 6.
Yeah, 2022.
Yeah.
So 6.
6. So you will see a lot of negative energies also coming up very strongly this year.
Correct.
As much as there is very positive things, there is also negative things.
Right.
Many tools. So we can also find out what a year can do to us. But for individuals, it will be different because each one of us will be having other numbers.
Correct.
Coming back to number 7. Number 7, people are very strategic in what they do. Mentally, they're very fast. They think very fast. They may not act very fast, but mentally they go very fast. Their actions may not show that, but they analyze a lot of things just mentally. They do everything first. The whole script is ready in their mind before they get down to doing anything into action. Okay. So you'll see 7, 16, and 25. These people can do a lot of analysis. They're very good at introspection. But if they have too many 7s, then they can be very, they play the victim card. Very melancholic in everything. Oh, this happened to me. My life is only like this. They can be like that if there are too many 7s in there. I have not come across too many 7s, means the 777 or 4 7s. I have not come across to really give you an example, but this is what they can be. They could be, because they're mentally very agile, they also can do a lot of harm to others because mentally they've already worked it out, how they can take revenge and how they can, So I think these people would be very good in CBI or CID or something like that because mentally they'll work faster. They're very alert. These people also have a lot of intuitions. Their intuitions are very, very high. You'll see most of the spiritual people like the monks and things always will have 7s in them. But these people could be more devotional than just being spiritual. If there are too many 7s, they can be highly spiritual. They can reach the heights like Ketu, which will be the Dvaj. They can be that with a lot of 7s in it. Coming to number 8. Number 8 people like authority. They want to be the authority on everything. They like power. If you see a number 8 person, if he has a car, he will always want to have a car like a Jeep or something which is rugged, which is, power. They like to feel that power. Power is very important to them. They want to like to be the authority. They like to feel the power in anything they do. And for them, they do the best. Nobody else can do any better than them. See, on number 8, they will always be like this. In whichever field they are, they will be like that. But they will be very good at in any field they are. Because they like to they like to do the best. So they will be very good at what they are doing. But if there are too many 8s, they can be very intolerant. Because they feel they know everything. If somebody is not understanding something, they are like, you are tucha, you don't understand anything. Like that. They will kind of demean you like you are a nut, you don't understand things. And because they like authority, if they're destructive, they can oppress you. Too many 8s can make that. They will oppress you in what they are doing. They will make you are my slave kind of a thing. They become that authoritative, where that authority balance has gone. But if they just have 1 or 2 eights, a pair of eights, they will be very good, because then they are able to lead people. They're very helpful. They are able to take the team together. They're able to make a lot of good things in an organization. And because 8 is a 2, 4, 4 plus 4, 8, they're very good in their organizing skills. It is just that too many 8s can tip you off that balance. Coming to number 9, this is called as the completion of the numbers. Why is that? Because if you add anything to a 9, it retains that. Like supposing I am adding 9 plus 1, 10. 1 is retaining itself.
Correct.
Multiply 9 by 9, then I'm still going to get a 9. So it's called the completion of the number. In some of the streams of numerology, they don't calculate 9, because then they call it a complete number, so you don't take it. But in the Pythagorean method, we use 9 because it has a separate vibration of its own. So not calculating that would not really lead us to the number that we are talking about. These people have a lot of humanitarian goodness in them. They're very genius in what they're doing. They're the height in creativity. They can be creative in any field that they are in. Because of the other numbers, they could be in other fields other than creation. But whatever field they are in, they will be extremely creative in that field. Supposing they are a doctor, they will find some creation in the way they're doing. Like a cosmetic doctor will do excellently well because of the number 9. You know, that way. They could be a doctor, but they will find creation in what they are doing. But if you have too many 9s, they can be very hot-tempered. Because there's a lot of anger in them. You know? They can be very hot-tempered. They could be fickle. They could just not listen to anybody. Because it goes to the extreme, they're not able to control themselves. So they can get very destructive in what they do. So this is how numbers 1 to 9 play. So if you look at your numbers, then you will see that your birth, if it has a number from 1 to 9, you know what your innate qualities are. And if your life path is those numbers, then you know what is the journey you are going to go.
Correct.
So this journey of 1 to 9 is how it will represent. Now you could have a birth number different and a life path number different. Okay, so that is a next step of how we will take it to how you read that. So here we are talking only about 2 topics. One is your life path and one is your birth date, which I call the soul, because that is what you are coming. Your soul is what you bring in this life. That is what you are. So it is your soul with the journey of your life, which is the life path. You want me to explain anything more in this?
No, this was clear enough. We hope you will come up with more sessions, maybe very basics, like if we take maybe we can take a celebrity number 1 and what's happened. Like it'll be a good series if we can think on those lines. But I hope people have understood you today, because it was very, very basic. I was just checking up on Hitler and number 8. So he is born in the year 1889, I think. So it comes to an 8. Power, authority, will not listen. So the first thing that came to my mind was Hitler. So yes, numbers do work. And I hope people can just go and do the total the way Neena has taught us. Add the birth date. That is, you have to take your birth date, whatever date it is, say 6 April 1990. So it will
6
become
and 4, 10.
10.
10 plus 1, 11 plus 9, 20 and
20.
29. Which
20.
comes to an, yeah, which if you add 2 and 9 comes to an 11. Now 11 is something, 11 is called a master number. We have many master numbers.
Correct. We'll talk about it later. This was just an example that we have taken. This is your life path and this is how you will do. And simply just doing it and just go to your path, whichever number it is coming to you, and just check out whether it is constructive for you, whether it is negative for you, whether it is destructive for you, and act accordingly. I think you all can work on it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Neena. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So we do a lot of naming. I have started doing that with Katpayadi also. That also is a wonderful system of apna Indian Vedic numerology. And of course, we do work together often, you and me, on these systems. So thank you very much for such a lovely session. Hope to have more and not wait for 2 years to get a session.
I know. It's been too long a wait. Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Correct.
Okay, Shikha.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Viewers, I think this Guru Purnima series, we have gotten a lot of knowledge. Each of my teachers has given a wonderful session, and do go and listen and watch those sessions, like, subscribe, and please share our work. Thank you so much.